A lot of good news coming out right now with Naoya Inoue. I heard about this a couple days ago, but you know how I am, man. I just look at certain things and not really surprised, but this is definitely gonna surprise a lot of people. So I overlooked it, to be honest with you. But going back to it now, I'm realizing, oh, this is a big deal. But now Inoue came out recently and said that featherweight is his limit. I don't know if anybody has spoke about that recently. He said he's not going up no higher than featherweight, and that he's not interested in going any higher than that. He says if he was 5'7", it would be different. He's only 5'5", so he feels like even in super bantamweight, he building muscle. At 122 right now, he feel like he's still building muscle, strengthening his physique for 126, trying to take on that challenge. I haven't really tried anything yet, he says, so I can't think of going up more than that. He said he can't think about it as far as like, from what I'm saying, that's the decision right now. It seems like he's leaving the door open as far, but he says he's not interested in going any higher than featherweight though. He's 32 years old right now, so yeah, sounds about right. That's what I was saying earlier. I said if he would have been started at 126 around this where he's at right now, oh yeah, he'll most definitely be making some things happen. But he's still at 122 right now, and am I surprised by that? Absolutely not. Because him at 126, he hasn't really moved up yet. At 22, he's been dropped twice already. Before he got dropped the last time, I still thought that 26, with the kind of punches they have at that weight class right now, is a tall task. A lot tougher than what people think. And putting him in the ring with Tank is very hard. Like I was telling people, even he's kind of admitting that right now, knowing that 126 is going to be very, very difficult. So seeing him move two more weight classes after that, I mean, maybe a guy like Tank would probably go to 130, like I was saying, but anyway, it's kind of like limiting himself right now to 126. He feels like this is the highest he's going to go. I was kind of hinting at that before because he hasn't been moving as far as in the divisions. He's kind of all over the place. He's fighting a guy who's number 2, 14, and 7, all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So he's not really in a clear direction of what he's going to do. We don't even know when he's going to 26. We don't know if he's going to do a fight with Nakatani. People are putting out there. So him at 26 is basically the last thing he will do in my eyes, as far as what I've seen and the kind of things that have been said. But is it kind of disappointing to hear that? I would say yes, but at the end of the day, only he knows his body. That's why we have other fighters. You have other fighters that can possibly do something like that. But like I was telling people before, Pacquiao is a guy who's the same height as Inoue. And, he's done some things similar to what Inoue's doing now. And he's moved up same weight classes. So he's a person who knows what that is and how it feels to move up a certain way in weight classes. But I also wanted to grab this picture, if I have, and show people. I know Tank doesn't have shoes on, so I'm just going to show that. But Tank is 5'5", from what I've seen. Tank Davis is 5'5", and, he's not that tall standing next to Manny Pacquiao. Most people would think that he's a gigantic person, but Tank Davis is not that tall compared to Manny Pacquiao. So for Inoue to kind of look at that and be like, oh no, if I was taller, that would be the reason. That's not the reason. And I'm showing it right now. This is no hating, not being a hater or nothing like that. But to say it's the height or seems like an excuse. Just gonna be real. Because if Tank was saying the same thing, I would say the same thing. So that's not the reasons why. Don't make that the reason. I'll show you the reason why right now. But that's definitely not the reason why. I'm trying to figure out the other picture. Where is it at? But yeah, this is yeah, it's definitely crazy if you look at it. Look at what Inoue is at. Look at what Tank at. Now we noticed. I already said Tank ain't got no shoes on. But come on now, what you gonna have some heels on or something? They the same height. Inoue might be taller. Inoue might be taller than Tank. You know what I'm saying? So for him to be like, yeah, if I was 5'7", if you was 5'7", you'd probably be at 140 or something like that. You know, it's guys that's 5'7" at 140. It's guys that's 5'8" at 154. I think Charles Conwell like 5'8", 5'9". He's not a tall guy. So yeah, that was a bad reason to put out there. And I like Inoue, but for him to make it seem like, yeah, if I was 5'7" instead of 5'5", I would definitely go up higher than 126. That's not a reason. Pitbull is what, 5'5"? Come on now. What we talking about? Yeah, but like I said though, man, we gotta look at things a certain way. Certain boxers, they're gonna limit themselves. You ain't gotta sit up here and say, well, this guy's gonna do this. It's only certain people, because everybody try to make it seem like every boxer just gonna do what Terrence Crawford doing with Canelo. No, they're not. That's why I said, how you gonna try to limit another fighter and say, oh, he can't do this, when you got other guys telling you, hey, I can't do this. People say, oh, Inoue need to fight Tank. He telling you, I can't fight Tank. But that's all I got. Like and subscribe.